Welcome to the Create with Katrina Julia show by Fit Life Creation, where we talk all the things on wellness, faith, marketing, business, and travel to create a life and business you love. I've been there, friend. I've walked from fear to faith, self-hate to love, corporate to calling, and bondage to freedom, along with transformation in every area of my life. I'm right here with you, walking along on my own path to creating. So tune in so that you learn how to create a life and business you love, hands-on. Let's create it. Thank you so much to ST Wraps for leaving a 5-star review on the show. Love how short and valuable this podcast is, with an emphasis on "and" in all caps. Create with Katrina is the perfect podcast to turn on whenever they probably meant to put need a friend to cheer you on. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I so appreciate it in every single way. How to 10x social media in 2023. And stay tuned, friends, because this is not your typical episode on 10xing social with content creation only. It goes far deeper with tools that I'm going to be sharing that will absolutely blow your mind. It's time to not just create content like a boss. And if you haven't yet, definitely check out my series on 7 ways to create content like a boss on the blog and the show all around the world. It's time to 10x social and digital marketing in 2023 and beyond. Because yes, creating content is a vibe. And yes, you absolutely want to do that. But if you want to truly test, reach your people, be on different platforms, and not be a slave to social media, you are going to love this episode. With the tools to create a life and business you love, it's a lot easier than you think. And after you listen to this episode, you will definitely want to go to my 75 plus tools and resources to create a life and business you love. If you're looking to 10x social media marketing results, you need to, yes, focus on creating quality content, whether it is educational content, whether it's entertaining mixed with education, whether it's storytelling, whether it's offering something and or introducing dancing with that and or memes and things like that. This means taking the time to create interesting and engaging posts that your audience will want to read. Now, keep in mind, I get so many messages all the time privately about things that I said or a post that I said that somebody saw and really, really liked, but they never commented, which always illustrates the point that I say is people are always watching whether they say something or not. So keep that in mind. You also need to make sure that you're using the right tools and strategies to truly reach your target audience and the people you want to serve. Your mind may be blown to know that I created over 90% of this blog post that I'm doing the voiceover on my show with the free tool Anchor for the show. But the blog post, I did over 90% using an AI, artificial intelligence tool called Hey Friday. So the time saved on writing the blog post was over an hour, because normally I would write, I would, organize my thoughts, I would do edits on Grammarly and tools like that. And then I would record this post. Well, as I started researching and investigating different AI tools, because one of the things is for me is I'm constantly thinking about how to create and scale. And I'm constantly thinking about, in the back of my mind is always, or in the front of my mind, really, let's just be real, is freedom. Like years ago, I worked in, in corporate, through different industries, and I still have nightmares or triggers around companies that I used to work with where we would literally have, and I know many of you relate to this, 20 to 30 hours of meetings in a week. And then the people that were supposed to do things, out of, those meetings and take action, I'd say like at least 70% of those people didn't do anything and then didn't have consequences. And then we would repeat the meetings. And after the second or third time that this happened, I put my foot down and I was like, nope, we already met on this. I've done my part. When A, B, C, and 1, 2, 3 people step up and do their part, and or we fire them, like, just be real, we're grown-ups here. And I firmly believe in alignment and, yes, grace, but I also believe in accountability. Like, we're not talking about children here. We're talking about grown ass, men and women that are, making 100K, 200K, et cetera. Like, I'm gonna need you to step it up. Okay. So I put my foot down, and or I would say, okay, well, let's make this a working meeting and work on this now, because I'm not wasting my time. So I still have those times, or I intentionally, when I do meetings, it's like, okay, here's the homework before. Here's the, what we're going to cover, the agenda. We're going to keep it to 15 to 30 minutes. And then what's it after? Unless I'm meeting like with a friend or something like that. Like, I just connected with Olivia via ATL Girl Gang. And she, like, our first meeting, I think was like 2 hours, but it was like so much personal and joyful stuff about like her family, her marriage, like life for me, and then also her financial planning business, because I knew this year I wanted to get a financial planner again. Side note, she is also listed in my tools on the 75 plus tools on the blog under the money section. So the time saved on writing the blog was like 1 to 2 hours. Speaking of, I guess I set my alarm on my phone. I don't know why. So excuse the interruption. So I started immersing myself, just a snapshot of my story, in digital marketing in 2013 with strategy, structure, and systems, including experiences involving over 25x growth in year one, just on sharing my story and my before and after results on Facebook alone. And you can check out my episode on the power of story sharing and why it sells. Over 3,000% ROI, influencer marketing, and working with brands like NBC, Apprentice, Simple Truth, and Airbnb all along the way. Side note, your girl, aka me, recently got an incredible project that paid 4 figures with Google through an influencer marketing platform, 4 figures on content I already created. Yes, that's a whole, because people think you need to get brand engagements first, or that's the only way, or you have to do content according to their standards, and that's the only way. No, 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 no. One of the sayings I say constantly, and this is why you get more when you listen to the show, because I go on tangent but off tangent, is I am paid to be me. I am paid to freely be me. Money comes to me easily and effortlessly, and that is literally happening through months of and years of consistent work and shifts from corporate to calling and creating this lifestyle brand, and just results this month alone, 2xing income. And then from this month compared to this time last year, over 1,100% increase ROI, return on investment, compared to the prior. At the same time, listen to my money series, because I talk a lot about scarcity thinking, and I talk about a lot of my story being fully humble, open, and transparent of different things that happened in shifting from corporate to calling and help and moments of scarcity and so much more. So I will be sharing more on the Google opportunity coming up and what happened on the blog, on the show, on my YouTube channel. So beyond any AI tool, you may 10x social media with automation and delegation. Take note, friends. The 3 tools I'm using in 2023 that I took to a whole new level to 10x social media include IFTTT, if this, then that, Restream, and Later Media. So first, let's get into some key steps before you start to implement some of those tools. There's no question that social media is a powerful tool for entrepreneurs, creators, CEOs, and businesses and brands of all shapes and sizes. But if you're looking to take your social media presence to the next level and truly be seen, known, and heard, there is no need to wait weeks or months. Like, yes, it's still a long form game, but you can shorten the awareness, the conversion, and the sales, the time to get there. With a little bit of effort, you can 10x your social in a few days, regardless of your follower count, regardless of your engagement, etc. Here's some tips. Number one, figure out your social media goals. I get it. When it comes to social media, it can be overwhelming, complicated, and you don't know where to start or where to focus. This was me years ago. So it's important to set goals and focus in order to truly measure success. What do you hope to achieve through your social media platforms? Do you want to increase brand awareness, drive web traffic, get people on your email list, increase leads, generate more sales, all the above, or one or two at a time? Once you know what you're trying to achieve, you can create specific goals and metrics to track progress. Starting off 2023, I knew I wanted to automate and scale like a boss by increasing further social media reach, conversion, and sales 2x to 10x. You can see how right there, that's three key things. And then on my goals tracking sheet, I have specific numbers as I'm increasing different platforms. But then I'm also thinking about engagement along the way. So don't think it's simply increase for sake of increase. It's no, how can I create a more engaging community? And am I seeing more evidence of that? Number two, identify your target audience. When you're writing a piece, it's important to identify your target audience. The same goes whether you're posting on, Instagram, on YouTube, etc. Yes, the video can capture people's attention, but then you also want them to relate to your words. You want to think about your hook. You want to think about the insight. You want to think about the conversion, the relatability, the presentation. Like, are you spacing out your words? I can tell you right away, it drives me nuts when I see somebody post like a long blog post on Instagram and there's no spacing in between. Like, either do short or yes, do insightful and educational and are valuable, but space it out like a professional, especially if you want to use it as your business. If it's solely your personal gig, okay, great, have fun. Or, not gig, but your personal platform, right? And you only share family and friends. After all, you want to make sure that writing something or presenting something appeals to your people. When you know your target audience, you may create tailored content to their specific needs and interests. This will help you create content that is engaging and relevant to them. For example, my two primary audiences include business to business, B2B, two mission-based brands looking for ongoing branding engagements in wellness, business, travel, and including marketing with a fractional CMO, a chief marketing officer. You can also find that on the blog, and that series will be coming up soon. And business to consumer. My avatar or my imaginary, ideal person is Catalea. That's a Brazilian name that I first learned years ago that I absolutely adore, who is a mission-based creator to CEO who lives life limitlessly and loves travel. So you can see how she relates to me, and I absolutely relate to her, and there's specifics around that dive deep. Number three, creating content, creating engaging content. If you want to keep people coming back to your website, your social media, your different channels, you need to keep content both engaging and educational and valuable. In today's day and age, you need to think about, or we get to think about, why would people keep showing up to your social media, to your blog, to your podcast? Why? What ways are you entertaining them? And that doesn't have to be dance. It could be music. It could be a number of different ways with voiceovers, so many things. So don't think, for my introverts, extroverts, or fellow ambiverts, a lot of people think when they meet me, I am extroverted. And I discovered years ago through reading this book, The Power of Quiet, that actually I'm an ambivert. Meaning I love being around like-minded people. I love learning from people. I love, engaging. And I've been like that ever since a little girl. I would be in Bulgaria at a playground and I didn't even speak the language. And next thing I know, I had like 10 new BFFs following me around the playground. That's one of my favorite stories. But at the same time, as I shifted and started taking better care of myself years ago through my transformation, I realized radically through that book and a series of several steps that actually after I engage with, people or a lot of people and exert a lot of energy, yes, I'm on fire in the moment. Yes, I'm engaged. But at the same time, afterwards, I'm like, okay, I need some me time. I want some me time to recharge my battery, so to speak. So it's a very typical introverted tendency, but because of how I am when I'm around people, whether it's a small group or a larger group, people think oftentimes that I'm extroverted. So think of how you are. And that'll often drive your content. And I can tell you, give yourself the freedom to choose an experiment. Like my content now, through time and practice and boundaries and freedom and creation, is radically different than it was, a year, 2 years ago, 5 years ago. And I'm on more platforms because I figured out how to automate and delegate and scale. So, but that came with time and intentionality. You may spice things up by adding videos that can absolutely be, yes, dancing face to face, talking heads, but also behind the scenes voiceovers of food or music with food or music with your product. I mean, the list music with the tour of whatever your service is, whether it's, an accountant like a fellow CPA like me, whether it's a real estate agent or mortgage broker, whether it's an engineer, so many different ways, images and interactive content. By keeping your content interesting, you keep people coming back for more because they're excited to see what value you create next. In the blog, in the links in the show notes, I also have a Pinterest. Oh my God, what are these called? I can't think of it right now. Idea something, infographic. There we go. There we go. My brain went blank for a second. I have an example under the create engaging content of an infographic, and I repurposed that and shared it as an Instagram reel that I set up as a joint Instagram reel between my Instagram page at Katrina Julia Fit at Fit Life Creation. That's an easy way as, a quasi introvert to say, okay, I don't want to be on camera today. I don't want to post XYZ, or I don't have stored content right now on me dancing or educational or talking head. Let me do this and let me repurpose this. Number 4, optimize your social media profiles. When it comes to social media and creating content like a boss, it is important to make sure your profiles are optimized for the best results. Overall, whether it's Instagram or LinkedIn, or any platform in between, this means, especially if you're using it for business, means taking the time to fill out all the information, a profile pic, cover photo, a short bio, especially on Insta. Make sure to use keywords that describe what you do, how you serve, include your website or your blog or your link in bio like I do on my Instagram at Katrina Julia Fit. I learned to get better with this with clarity, practice over the years, and communities like B School or Social Curators. Which, side note, Social Curators will also be included in my beta coming up for the Chief Marketing Officer as a fractional CMO. So stay tuned for that. You may also include other social media profiles to help drive traffic to your pages. By optimizing your profiles, you may ensure that more people will see your content and different types of people and likely be interested in what you have to say. And you guys, again, this is freaking miracle. All this that I just read, other than like the personal insights or me going off ad lib on the show, we're done. Like this blog post, keep in mind, again, I typed in Hey Friday, I typed in 10x social media, I typed in how to, and literally in like about 2 minutes, not even, it was less than a minute or less than 30 seconds. This entire blog post came up. All I did was add in then hyperlinks. All I did was add in GIFs and photos. Boom. Easily scalable next to my VA or my virtual assistant. I am constantly evaluating. Oh, and side note, this is not sponsored by them. It's not sponsored yet. I'm truly like amazed at what's happening with AI and excited about the time that the tool is saving me, because now, whereas I was maybe sharing, one blog post or, or two blog posts a week, which, keep in mind, some of my travel ones may be different, but I'm still going to test it on different countries and different things. But the personal aspect may take me longer. But now I can easily, especially on the business side, say do 2, 3, 4 blog posts, and then especially scaling them with a virtual assistant or a VA. So I'm constantly evaluating my profiles for optimization and my focus right now. So pay attention, take note. This is another way to alleviate any type of anxiety, overwhelm, clutter, and your focus. Because my focus is not social media as a primary method. It's first business to business, because that's where I know first I am going to get $3,000 a month, $7,000 a month, $12,000 a month plus with different projects, whether it's on the finance side, whether it's on the marketing side, influencer marketing side, etc. And it gives me a paid beta that I can then turn into a online course, and or I can test that at as betas, say 50% off with the business to consumer community. At the same time, while I'm gathering from the B2B side, I can then engage the business to consumer side, and then boom, step 3 is create a course. Then step, 4 or 5 along the way is more automation and delegation that, ultimately integrates all. So, right, but on the social media side, right now, my short-term content focus is Instagram, that's repurposed on YouTube and TikTok via both automation with if this then that, where you create basically what are called applets, that once you do something, so if I post on Instagram, it's a trigger, then that is, I created an applet, it gets saved in my Dropbox, the reel or the photo. It then also goes to Twitter. It also goes to Pinterest. It also goes to, YouTube, my VAs do. And then on YouTube, I have applets that then the triggers, if this and that, disperse on the other platforms. Okay. So I am also in masterminds and programs, including B School now for the second year and the third time, and social curators with Jasmine Star almost a year. My long form content follows one of two flows, and I give myself the freedom to co-create. One of them follows creating a blog, like I did with this one, doing on Hey Friday, followed by a voiceover for the show, like exactly what I'm doing. And then when I get ready to do my fractional CMO launch, I'm going to do a video for YouTube, and or oftentimes I will do it for a course within either Kajabi and or Skillshare and or Subkit, which is where I also have bundles now on a monthly basis that pulls in all those tools and wisdom, where I'm helping creators like Catalea, remember the ideal, create and scale a life and business you love monthly. Beyond this, I'm also using an incredible tool called Restream. Keep listening. Number 5, use social media tools and platforms. Social media platforms, let me remind you again, are a great free way, free way to connect with people and stay up to date. Years ago, the only methods that business had to communicate or share their businesses or their dreams were in newspaper ads, were on TV commercials, and then later on internet ads. So let me remind you again, for the people in the back, it is a free way to market and share how you create and scale what you love and how you serve. Do not discount that. So when I hear, to me, like, I cringe when I hear a potential or an entrepreneur, creator, or a potential influencer I might work with complaining about the algorithm, and that's like all their content, or complaining about Instagram or what they're doing or not doing, call the ambulance. In my mind, I'm like, do you know, like, if you wanted a TV commercial to reach 100K, 200K, 500K of your friends, like what it would cost you? Like, don't miss the gratitude and the value of what we have right now that did not exist 15, 20, 30 plus years ago at all. So that's point A. There's so many platforms to choose from, and each offers unique features and lets you reach real people, not REEL, real, REAL, people with emotions, thoughts. They may connect with you. They may want to vibe with you. It may be difficult to decide which platform is best for you. Side note, my emotion there was clearly not off Hey Friday. But it's important to find a platform that works for you. In my binge worthy Creating Content Like a Boss series all around the world, I share my content approach from Instagram to YouTube to business launches in different destinations. You may read via the blog or and source and search by social media or like a boss theme, or you can tune in and look for some of the recent ones on my top 100 marketing show. We reached it in 2022. Create with Katrina Julia. Yay. And side note, also so you can find easily all the blogs on how to create content like a boss or 7 ways to create content like a boss via the social media theme on the blog. But on the show, the latest and greatest one, I think, was when I was either in Turkey or in Portugal. So just in case you're looking, it's going to be a bit back because I have filmed a lot of episodes since then, because that was circa probably September of 2022-ish, just in case you're looking for it on the show. So the social media and strategies and tools I use include: number one, post on Instagram, automate and delegate social to platforms like If This Then That and my virtual assistants via FSIs. Number two, typically complete a blog, then do a voiceover on my show and or create a YouTube video or series. Number three, create the long form video, repurpose the audio for the show, because likely depending on how I did the video, it's often different than the blog and show and provides more behind the scenes, and use an AI tool to create a blog post like I did with this blog. Number four, post on YouTube, automate and delegate social to platforms via both If This and That and later media. Like my virtual assistant always shares as an added traffic driver, always shares my shorts, my YouTube shorts to Pinterest too, like as an example. Number five, this is one of the things I introduced in 2023. So I did go live a couple of times before in several years, but I also started thinking about, what is aligned to my style of presentation and what is how do I prefer to show up? And I love doing presentations and things live, as far as live in real life. But sometimes on video, I don't like to show up live because, again, the introverted / ambivert side, and sometimes what I feel like is happening in the live, like sometimes lights me up, but sometimes I feel like, whoa, there's a lot happening right now. So I started asking myself the question last year, like, ooh, what if there's a tool that I can use pre-recorded video that I filmed by myself, see step 3 above, and I can load it and it shows on platforms like Alive. So your girl discovered Restream, again, not sponsored yet, where yes, you can go live on your computer and it can stream to over 10, 20, 30 platforms at the same time while you sit in your beanie behind the scenes like I did. And then your bright, shining face is how you were that day when you recorded. And maybe it's a Friday or you're in a different energy or whatever the case is. And I implemented their tool and I actually got a free 3-month trial via the LinkedIn Creator Program that I submitted for. So that is another whole vibe. And if you are ready to create it like a boss, you are going to love my monthly online and live experiences for the ones that truly desire to go from a creator to CEO and build a brand and a business with multiple income streams. Not just that, you guys, but definitely if you're curious about either having influencer management and or a fractional CMO, definitely look at that via my links. And if you're like me and you want an even more intimate experience, then absolutely check out my retreats. Like my retreats coming up later this year in November as of now. If I post or do some others, I will absolutely, of course, keep you guys updated. Okay. Now, number 6, analyze and optimize your results. After you've completed your analysis, it's important to optimize, to do new content, try new platforms, A/B test different content, target different audiences, change how you communicate, short, long, use new tools, enroll in an online mastermind, hire a fractional CMO to help you create like a creator to a CEO. Number 7, Last but definitely not least, keep learning and evolving. No matter how successful you become, it is so important to keep learning and growing. It's what allows us all to stay humble and hungry. And as we continue to learn, we also get to grow as people as well as entrepreneurs. Communication, relating, both in person, online, in email, all the above make you a better human as well as being able to connect with people emotionally and also change the game and the results in your business. Bottom line, transformation is required to create a life and business you love. And that is hyperlinked under number 7 in that article in that series that I wrote and started with multiple entrepreneurs all around the world. 10x social media like a boss. How will you create it next? What tip or tool will you integrate to create content like a boss? By taking any one of the tips or tools, you may quickly and so easily increase your social media presence 10x and beyond. And the best part, you can continue to implement these tips to keep your social media presence going. So don't wait to create it. Start 10xing your social media presence now. As always, friends, I'm so excited that you're here. Please, please, please leave a review on the show so more people get to know about the show, and tag me on social with what you are doing to create it at Katrina Julia Fit, at Fit Life Creation. And as always, create, transform, and inspire. You are born to. If you are looking for an incredible program on a monthly basis that combines everything you need to create and scale a life and business you love, you are going to love what I created with Subkit on a monthly basis. But first, if you're tuning in for the first time, I want you to know a little bit more about me. And you can find the link in the show notes as well on Subkit and everything you want to know. So, first, I'm a multi-passionate entrepreneur, athlete, traveler, creator, and CEO who has transformed every area of life from the inside out since 2010 and continues to, shifting from fear to faith, self-hate to love, corporate to calling, pain to purpose, lies to love, and bondage to freedom. I've worked with 15,000 plus entrepreneurs online and live, traveled the world full-time 2020 through 2022, worked with brands like NBC, Airbnb, WeWork, Victoria's Secret, and aim to help over 1 million mission-based brands and entrepreneurs create and scale what they love with freedom. What does that mean? Imagine you having a clear roadmap and creating and scaling step by step to progress in your life with freedom, with wellness, with marketing, with business, with travel. Everything I walk through, everything that I share, everything that I've leveraged or make money from, I help you create it too. So it all matters, whether it's rising to be and doing one more thing on the hard days or working on projects like NBC Apprentice or Airbnb. It's all big and adds up. So I want to encourage you to hashtag create it now. And what does the program with Subkit look like? First, when you click the link in the show notes, create it like a boss, you will see on the second link, the monthly create it. And one of the betas that I'm running right now is an intro deal on $44 a month, which is basically less than a smoothie bowl or a trip to Starbucks per month. And you will get to create it with exclusive access and discounts, updates on the 75 plus tools every single month. That means all the tools that I'm testing, whether it's something like Subkit or the new tools that I'm 10xing my social media automatically across platforms, new creative creations that I'm beta testing and I want your feedback, an exclusive newsletter for you getting started, and updates to the 7-day online challenge that covers wellness, wealth, business, and travel. If you want a plus experience, you get all of that, plus the Create It Summit quarter, every single quarter, that includes over 50 plus courses to take a even deeper dive, plus a vision workshop to really align to your goals from the inside out, updated every single quarter, and a group session with me on a specific theme, from jumpstart to transformation to unleashing inspiration to money matters to smart social media to crazy confidence. So a brand new theme every single month, and you get access to all the replays. Then if you want a VIP experience, you can get all the above, plus guaranteed features, lives, and co-launches, one per quarter, and one-on-one sessions that I will do with my VIPs every single month. At the bottom of that page on the Create It Monthly, you will see incredible content as well, like the subkit feature on Get to Know Me, my faith series, freebies, how to find over $500,000 daily in opportunities, global retreats, insights into my almost 2 years of full-time travel, 7 steps to build a presence online, and the Lifestyle Brand Like a Boss course coming in June, and a lot more. So can't wait to see you on the inside, and let's create it. All the chats on faith, wellness, money, marketing, business, and travel, so you create a life and business haven't already. Head on over to the blog, the podcast, and the freebies to jumpstart your transformation. If you're ready to dive into the online courses, the live events, or the retreat, and if you want to create with our community on an even deeper level, definitely check out our internships, our influencer collaborations, management, and brand engagement. Let's create it.